protocol. Lose It is a weight loss program and calorie counter that you can either use on the internet or in conjunction with your smartphone. This is an app that I have already downloaded, so I don't remember how much it was. It may be free, it may be $1.98, $2.98. Anyway, it's not that much. And there is an offer for a year of premium features for an extra $39.99, but so far I haven't felt the need to take advantage of those features. Now I'm going to be showing you the Lose It app for the sake of this demonstration, mostly on my on the app that's on the internet. It's pretty much identical to what's going to be on your smartphone. It's just going to be easier for you to see. And then at the end of the demonstration, I'll switch over to my actual phone because there's some features there that I won't be able to show you here. The first thing you want to do is to set up your goals. So you'll go to the goals section, and this is where you're going to start your plan. In my case, I've already got a plan, so I'm going to go in and edit a plan. It tells this is where you put what your starting weight is, what your goal weight is, what your calorie budget is, and because this app is set up for traditional weight loss plans, it doesn't give you the option to say that you want to lose more than the recommended quote-unquote healthy amount of 2 pounds per week. But that's okay, because there are some ways that you can modify it that will still help you stay within your calorie budget and to see where you are within that budget. So what you want to do after you put in your starting weight, your current weight, and your goal weight is your gender, what your height is, what your birthday is, and then your plan is how many pounds you want to lose per week. Just as a default, put 2 pounds per week. Your calorie budget is where you get to make some adjustments. There's no default for, I believe, under 1,200 calories per day, but you can adjust the budget here, and you can subtract. They gave me an estimated calorie budget of 1,070, so maybe it wasn't 1,200. It's like 1,000, depending on where you are in your BMI. They will suggest calories from 1,000 to 1,500 per day. But what I do is I take that estimated calorie budget and then I subtract the amount to get to the calorie budget that I want to be at for the day. So my calorie budget for my protocol is about 650, 645. So I subtracted the 425 calories and came up with my daily calorie budget of 645. You can subtract more if you want to go down to 500, subtract less if you want to be at about 800. So that's the first thing, and they'll tell you your calorie budget is lower than the National Institute of Health's maximum required, blah, 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 blah. No, just adjust my plan like I want it. And you can see on this page, this gives you a good indication of where you've come from and where you've been. How I started this round back in March, and probably my load weight, and came steadily down, got off the protocol in June, gained a little bit of weight on vacation, and now I'm back on protocol and going back down again. The next thing you want to do is every day, when I start my day, I'll just go in and put in what I plan to eat. That saves me a lot of time. So when I get ready to add a food, I choose breakfast. And for breakfast, I generally have the same things over and over again. So you can go to your previous meals. For breakfast, I usually just count in my creamer for my coffee. So my previous meals shows that there's my creamer. I'll click on it and that'll add it in there. It just so happens that today I'm having some extra foods for breakfast, so I'm going to add those foods. There's a place that you can search for foods, and there's a place for your foods. Your foods, or my foods, are the foods that you have previously added to the program. What you'll find is as you add items to the program, you'll end up with a full list of all the foods that you generally eat on protocol, and you won't have to add or search for any new foods. Very rarely will you have to do that. So I had a piece of sprouted multigrain bread from Central Market, and I also had as my foods, my breakfast food, some Laughing Cow cheese. Um, the words to find your uh, the food that you're looking for. So I'm going to add that. And then I also had a half of an apple. And under my foods, I'll see there's an apple. Add that. I'm going to also put in what I think I'm going to have for lunch. If you change your mind, you can go ahead and um, modify it later. But for me, this kind of gives me an overall idea of what my day is going to look like. And I know that if I need to add more calories, subtract some calories, um, do some exercise, not exercise that day, then I can make those decisions as the day goes on. For lunch, I'm going to have tuna with some celery and um, some Dijon mustard. Now, this is a little bit different on the internet than it is on the phone. From the internet, you add this food and it clicks you right back to add food, and you have to start all over and find breakfast. On the phone, you can just keep adding those foods without going back to the meal. So that's kind of important to understand. For dinner, I'll put my snacks in now. For snack, I'm gonna have a half a grapefruit, and for dinner, I'm gonna choose a meal that I've had before, but there's also an extra um, little um, there's an extra feature where you can add recipes. And so when you add recipes, you can name the recipe, then you put in all the ingredients for 1 serving or 4 serving or whatever of that particular recipe. I'm going to have turkey chili. I've already added that recipe in, so now I don't have to put in the turkey and the onions and the tomatoes. All I have to put in is the recipe of turkey chili. I'm going to add that. And now I can see that my um, something happened on my budget. My budget should be, I think when I was showing you guys, I may have changed my budget. But I can see that my calories are going to be about 610 for the day if I eat this meal. If I want to add an exercise, which I probably will, I'm going to go work out on the elliptical. Elliptical is an exercise that I do often, so it shows up right away. Once you put in an exercise, it'll be part of the exercises that you do. It knows that I do light elliptical. It knows that I usually do 15 minutes. So I add that, and that subtracts those amount of calories from your net for the day. Apparently, I messed up my food budget by trying to edit it on the um, web-based application, and it doesn't like for me to do that. So it's best that you go ahead and adjust your goals on your smartphone if you can, because it kept kicking me out when I was trying to adjust it back in this particular app. But as I mentioned before, I added in my exercise, and now I have another 157 calories that I need to eat since I exercise in order to reach my calorie goals. That is why I recommend weighing your food and putting in the exact portion sizes, ounces, whatever, so that you'll know exactly where you stand on your exercise and your food. Well, I've had my 2 fruits already, so what I really need is to add some more protein. So as an additional snack or dinner, I think I'm going to have some um, uh, cottage cheese as a snack. So I'm going to add that for a snack. And it really doesn't matter when I eat this, if I eat it as a snack or I eat it along with my dinner, as long as I eat it in the 24-hour period. I'm going to not eat a tablespoon. I'm going to have a half a cup, not an eighth of a cup, half a cup of cottage cheese. So that puts me a little bit closer to what I need to do for the day as far as calories. If something changes during the day and I decide I'm not going to have this menu, then I can change it and still see where I end up for the day. The other thing that you can do is record your weight on the day so that you can see what the weight you've lost corresponds to how you've been eating. There is a place on the phone app when you can look at your day and you can see your nutrients. There it is. It's a pie chart on the phone app, but you can see here that I've had, 71 grams of protein, 60 grams of carbohydrates, and 19 grams of fat. And I notice this when I've had exceptionally good losses. I'll look at how I've been eating for the last few days and kind of see what my percentages are, what my grams are of fat, protein, and carbohydrates. And sometimes if I tweak it, I find that I can lose a little bit better. But I also want to show you how to add different foods and recipes to your program. So if you go to settings, and on the phone it's called more, but you'll figure that out when you get your phone app, and you go to a custom food. Let's just say there's a food that you've searched for and you can't find it in the Lose It app's database. It's a new food. I'm going to call it tomato basil spaghetti sauce. If I can type. You can choose from, it'll suggest some icons, and that's a pretty good one. It's sauce. It doesn't matter. It just means the icon that's going to show up when you choose the food from the program. The brand is hCG. You don't have to put it. The calories, I'm just going to take it straight from the jar, are 30. The fat is 1 gram of fat. Saturated fat, 0. Sodium, if that's important, 390. Carbs, 6 grams. Fiber is 2 grams. And it doesn't have a place on the Lose It app to put in sugar grams. That's the only thing I really wish it had, because I am looking at the amount of sugar in each of the foods that I'm eating. Protein is 1 gram. And you just add the food. Now there's another way to add foods by scanning the barcode on an item, and I can't show you this on the web-based app, but I will show it to you when I complete this demonstration using the smartphone app. Here is also where you add your recipes. So I'm going to click on recipes, and you can see the recipes that I've added in already. And just to start a new recipe, to show you how simple it is, you just start new, and I'm going to call this one shrimp salad. And this is something that I've been making lately. And you can even create something like a fish taco, even though it's not really a recipe, it's just a combination of different ingredients. This is going to be 1 serving, and you just add each ingredient. So my first ingredient is going to be shrimp, something I probably already have, and it's going to be 10 because that's how many I use in my servings. You can adjust it down if you need to. I also use celery, diced celery for 1 serving, 1/4 of a cup, that's right. I also use Dijon mustard, and I use Grey Poupon, and I also use cottage cheese, kind of like a mayo substitute, but I only use 1 tablespoon, not 8. Nope, other way. 1 tablespoon. All right, that's my salad. Um, close that out. So the next time I eat the shrimp salad, I don't have to put all those ingredients in. I'll just put the recipe in. Okay, now I'm going to show you the demonstration on my smartphone. As you can see, everything that I just put in on the web-based app is now on my smartphone. And one of the other options you have to add foods from your smartphone is to scan the barcode. I had been using this app for probably a year or so before I realized you could do this. So what I want to do is use the plus button to add some foods. I'm going to add it to my dinner. And I am going to choose scan barcode. So you have this little barcode reader that comes up here. I know that I already put in this tomato sauce, but I'm going to use this as an example. If you hold the scanner just right over the label, it grabs it and it puts that item into your database. This is perfect for foods that you get at the grocery store that already have the nutritional. I'm just going to say, yep, add that. And now that food, that particular food item is going to be in my database. In addition to tracking your calories and your exercise, there's also a section where you can join a community, add friends, and also post your progress to Facebook or Twitter. There are some challenges that you can participate in. For instance, there's a 30-day paleo challenge, or log every day into your goal. And the last thing I want to mention are the reports. So if you want to look at a snapshot of how you have been doing for the past day or week, there's a weekly summary. And I can see here, I can look at last week and see how often I logged, whether or not I went over my calories, and also how many calories I burned during exercise. You can export this to a spreadsheet if you want to keep track of it on your computer. Otherwise, it's going to be here. I hope you enjoyed this little demo of Lose It, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye.